know who came to work that day in Cleveland, but it seemed like everybody was at the parade. So things like that. This is what This is what the greats do. They inspire and gather the city around their back. Regardless. And again, I'm just here not as a Cleveland fan. I'm a New York fan, but I'm here to say LeBron is right there, growing on that. I'm better than Michael Jordan's tenure. I think he passed Larry Bird. I think he just passed Magic with his last championship. I think we cannot put a center in the top five because you can't reward somebody for being already blessed with great genes. You're 7'1" or 6'12" or 6'11". You better be good at basketball if that's the profession you're going to play. I mean, you're taller than everybody, so I'm not going to put centers in the top five greatest player category. I'm not going to do that. If you had to ask me, number one is Jordan. LeBron James is number two. If this was a baseball season, he's about 5.5 games out of first place. So you add that in a couple of years. I'll say 2 years. In 2 years, LeBron could pass Jordan as the greatest player of all time. Number three, I'm going to put Magic. Number four, I'm going to put... I had to think about this. I'm going to put Barkley. Barkley was an undersized power forward, and the numbers and the things that he did was just amazing. And number five, I'm going to put my guy, Walt Clyde Frazier. If you don't know who Walt Clyde Frazier is, Google him, look at his stuff. Don't look at the shiny suits. Those are fly too. But look at his statistics and look at his playing style for my New York Knicks the last time they won a championship. So that's my top five. Now, there's a little chatter about the whole Derrick Rose situation in terms of cap space for the Knicks. Like, again, if he sucks, they won't re-sign him next year. That means there's more cap space going into New York next season, in the season of 2017-2018. What that means is, LeBron's been on record saying he wants to play with his boys before his career is over. So let's say LeBron delivers another championship to Cleveland next season. Who's to say that he did good on his promise? He brought the city of Cleveland 2 championships. He brought the Cavs back to respectability. Hey, him and the owner, Danny Gilbert, no harm, no foul. They could look back at water under the bridge. Hey, you got 2 championships. I made you rich. You made me rich. I'm out. I'm going to go to New York. They have a shitload of cap space. They could sign Wade, Chris Paul. Melo's already there. Porzingis is still on a rookie deal. I might go over there and play with my guys for the last 3-4 years of all their prime, because by the end of that, they'll be in the late 30s. So maybe that's something I know a lot of people will probably say that's a pipe dream, but I think the chips are in play. You can see the pieces on the board. We'll see how that turns out in the year. That's something to look at later in the season. All this pretty much hangs on Derrick Rose. Again, it all depends. If Derrick Rose plays great, the Knicks will probably sign him. If he doesn't play great, then what the idea and where the Knicks could be possibly going, what they could possibly do in the season of 2017-2018. Once again, this is Views from the City. I'm your host, Busy J, Jason Corner. We're just here chopping it up with the good folks, talking sports, pop culture, politics, and there's another thing that's been bothering me a little bit. I'm not going to get too much into the OJ situation. There was a great documentary that ESPN had. I'm hearing rumbles that they're going to submit it for an Oscar nomination. It's going to be because now they do documentaries and short films, and that's going to be up there. So I hope that goes well for them. But man, it made me realize how much of a piece of shit O.J. Simpson really was. Growing up in the 90s, growing up in the 80s, and I remember firsthand. I remember watching Starks throw up a 3-pointer. The next thing you know, we watching the Ford Bronco chase on the highway, and I'm like, what's going on here? Is OJ going to kill himself? What's going on with my Knicks? It was the NBA Finals, and then NBC did the right thing. They put it on split screen. That was the first time I even knew that a television could do that, but neither the case. So I remember living it. I remember when the verdict came in that he was not guilty. I remember vividly. I remember in Brooklyn, stores are closed, schools, Everybody was pretty much in the classroom at the time. Nobody really got out. But I remember the McDonald's across the street from my high school was closed. And I thought that was odd. Then come to find out, as I'm going to school, there's like, yeah, the verdict's in. So I guess everywhere throughout the nation was expecting the worst. They were preparing for the worst. Now, OJ, we all know he got off. That doesn't mean I don't think he did it. I think he did it. I think, personally, I think OJ did it. I think he had help from AC. But it's just the levels of how much, this guy, he didn't want to be associated with blacks. He didn't respect us. He didn't respect himself. And here's a guy, not only, I didn't know the whole story about the whole, why he's in jail now for stealing back his own stuff. But this guy, you got away with murder. A murder that 99% of people in the world know you did. You got off. You got away with it because, hey, you had the money and you was able to build a super team. Of, you really build the best defense ever in sports. Forget about the 2000 Ravens or the 86 Bears. Your defense team, OJ's defense team, was the best defense in the history of defenses. So you got off. You would think you would have a squeaky clean image going further. Nope. You became more of an ass, more of a piece of shit. You went in, stole back your shit, and everybody that pretty much went with you to steal it, they turned on you and they sold you out. I'm not for about ratting someone out. But when you're OJ, you damn right, I'm going to rat you out. I'm going to sing like a canary. Because that's how much I know you would do that to me. That's how much I know you're a piece of shit. So, we'll see what happens with that if he gets out anytime soon for probation. But, I believe in karma. And karma has come full circle to OJ. Speaking of karma, it was Gay Pride in New York City yesterday. Gay Pride Parade. Adam Silver, the NBA commissioner, marched in the parade, showing his support. And I'm all for, I'm all for loving each other. I'm all for everybody, could be loved with whoever they want to love. I'm all for, everybody being happy, everybody being themselves. Live your life. If I'm a firm believer in this saying, live your truth so no one can use your truth against you. It's kind of like Eminem in 8 Mile, where he said, yeah, I'm a piece of shit. I'm a this and that and that. He owned his truth. So now when someone's battling him, they have nothing to use. They have nothing to say that's going to affect them. So I think that's where this country needs to head. Everybody needs to own who they are, put it out there. Hey, it's fine. If you're racist, you're racist. If you're gay or you're lesbian, fine. Put it out there. Let everybody know. Again, I'm a firm believer. Live your truth so nobody can use it against you. So again, back to the Gay Pride real quick. Adam Silver marched in the parade. It was a beautiful parade. A lot of great folks. A lot of political figures were there because, everybody wants to get that vote. And it just dawned on me, how much this country pretty much puts the arm around the LGBT community. And I know this is going to sound kind of fucked up, but hey, this is views from the city. And I'm a city guy. And I'm African American. What if this country embraced black people the way they embrace black culture and the LGBT community? How much a better country this country would be. Just put that out. Just let that sink in for a little bit. The way they galvanize and come around, put their arms on each other. Again, I'm all for the love. I'm all for, everybody being true to themselves. But what if we all embrace each other for our differences as well as our, coming together? Things like that. Things like that would help ease the division. There's so much division in this country. There's so much division, and it's to me, social media should be a platform. Podcasting, radio, media should be a platform where we come together, we express our point of views, we have great dialogue, and we have great discussion. But apparently, it's not like that. It could be like that, but it's not like that. So that's a little food for thought. Again, I'm all for the LGBT community. I support them. The tragedy that happened in Orlando was it's hard to swallow. And the Pulse club owner, He actually walked. He actually marched, and he had some kind words to say at the New York City Gay Pride event last night. Um, it was definitely heartwarming, and I feel for that. I feel for that brother. You know, Happiness Club. He does plan on reopening Pulse nightclub. He did state that at the Gay Pride event yesterday that Pulse will be reopening. Not right now, but sometime down the road it will be reopened. And that's good for him because we cannot live in fear. We cannot let one incident cripple us. I know I hear all the time like we gotta forgive, but we can never forget. I'm all for that too, but as Americans, we gotta always have our head held high. We always have to be like, hey, I'm not afraid of anything. I'm not saying not to be afraid of anything. I'm just saying you should never be afraid of things that you cannot control. Just worry about the things you can control, and also always remember your surroundings. Like me, I go to the movie theater. I'm in New York. I go to Broadway shows. I go to the movie theater. I go to comedy clubs. Hell, even at work, I know where my exit doors are. I know where the nearest bathrooms are, stairwells, you name it. Anything that, in case of an emergency, I need to know. I'm that guy. If I'm on a plane, I'm 99% of the time booked near the exit doors, just in case something happens and them doors got open. I know I'm closer to help out and get off. So I always usually book a flight around that aisle. So again, always be aware of your surroundings. Don't live in fear. I'm I could give you guys a quick story about 9/11. I worked. Shout out to Jay-Z. I played Dead Presidents in the intro. 20th year anniversary of Reasonable Doubt, his first album. 9/11. I'm gonna give you guys a quick 9/11 story. I was working at J.P. Morgan Chase. I was literally, I would say, I was about 2 stops away from the World Trade Center, Chambers Street, not too far. My plan that day was to go get Jay-Z's Blueprint album at Sam Goody, which was a record store, when record stores existed, inside the World Trade Center mall in the cellar. They had a mall. It was in the mall, so I was gonna go. That was my plan that day. Lower Manhattan was very vibrant in the 2000s, late 90s. It was very vibrant. It was pretty much Times Square now, but only Lower Manhattan. So I get to work that morning, and I look up. I see smoke coming out the World Trade Center. I'm like, oh wow, there's a fire over there. Okay, didn't think nothing of it. Got to work. Saw everybody watching the television at work at a bank. And next thing you know, I saw when the second plane hit. And I was like, holy shit. We're under attack. I'm in Lower Manhattan. What the fuck am I going to do? So we pretty much all stayed calm. And at that point, working in the bank, I saw with my own eyes folks coming in rushing to get their money. And it made me think, why? We just saw a plane go in the World Trade Center. Why is everybody coming to the bank to withdraw money? We should be trying to get the freak out of here. So after seeing the first tower fall, and that image is still etched in my head, it's going to be there for the rest of my life. So after seeing the first tower fall, we go back inside the building, we go back inside the branch, and then we hear when the second tower fell. And next thing you know, all you see is a gust of gray, thick, stinking smoke coming. And it pretty much covered up the whole blocks, covered up the building, covered up our door. We had to exit out the back door, and we had to walk. I had to walk over the Brooklyn Bridge. The first time I ever walked over the Brooklyn Bridge was 9/11. So I had to walk over the Brooklyn Bridge to get back to Brooklyn because mass transit wasn't running, nothing was running, and all you saw was people crying, people being strong, people lining up to go to hospitals to donate blood. And, it was one of the saddest days. So I get where I get where those people are coming from. I feel bad for the victims. I suffer. We all suffer through tragedy. It's part of life. Some tragedies can be prevented, and some can't. But you always gotta hold your head high and be resourceful, be resilient. in the face of